What is going on, guys? It is your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon here today with your Wednesday, September 2nd AEW review. And my God, was this a home run of a show. This show was the go home for AEW All Out, which is this Saturday. Stay tuned on the channel because on Friday I will be posting my predictions for that show. But to start off this show, I actually want to say welcome back to Excalibur. Excalibur is back on AEW. AEW sounds so much better now that Excalibur is back. And we actually start off this show with the Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful. Best Friends actually attack Proud and Powerful upon their entrance here. We have both teams fight on the outside of the ring. The Best Friends grab steel steps, and they try to hit a suplex onto Ortiz. Santana ends up saving Ortiz. Ortiz then throws Trent into the steps. Chuck grabs a bunch of chairs, sets them up. He has 4 chairs, and he stacks 2 on top of it to make like a sort of a square tower type of thing. Santana throws a chair at Chuck's head. Santana then goes for the powerbomb onto Chuck. Chuck hits a back body drop onto Santana, but Chuck still ends up going through the tower of chairs. Then we officially get this match underway when Santana and Trent both get in the ring. Proud and Powerful, obviously, since they've already isolated Trent, they continue to isolate him since Chuck is obviously selling the chair spots. Then Trent's finally able to get both of them away from him. He goes for the tag. There's nobody there, obviously, because once again, still selling the chair spot there. He misses a spear on the outside that Santana actually jumped over him to make him miss, and he goes flying into the barricades. Then Chuck finally was able to get back in here, and he takes out both Proud and Powerful guys. He hits a soul food and then follows that up with a Falcon Arrow onto Santana. Ortiz ends up breaking up the pin. Chuck then tried to hit a sunset flip roll through pin, and that was a 2 count. Trent then comes back in, hits a knee strike. He goes to the outside rope, and then he ends up getting pushed off the side of the ring apron into the steel steps from earlier. Then we have Proud and Powerful look for the street sweeper. It did not happen that time. Chuck pulled Santana off into a drop onto the neck by Trent. Santana then puts Ortiz's hands on the rope. Ortiz then pushes Trent towards Santana, who hits him with the steel baton. So he pushes him towards the rope, and the steel baton, hits him in the back. And that was followed up by a street sweeper for the win. Proud and Powerful finally, after I don't know how long, I really can't even remember the last time Proud and Powerful won on Dynamite. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it $1.50. I don't remember the last time Proud and Powerful won on Dynamite. I don't. And I've said it that they need to get these guys built up. These guys are guys that should be in contention for maybe that title spot at All Out against Hangman and Kenny. They are 100% one of the best tag teams in the world. And it was a shame that they weren't utilizing them properly. And hopefully this is the first step to getting to the point where these guys can go on their chase for the AEW Tag Team Championships. I really hope this is just the beginning for Proud and Powerful. I hope this isn't just a match that they win here and then they'll forget about in a few weeks. Best Friends, we all know how great they've been, how they've been in the title picture. They've gotten chances against Kenny and Hangman. I really hope that this is a big win for Proud and Powerful. They don't really have any big wins, but Best Friends, they've been a top 3 tag team consistently since the start of AEW. This is a big win for Proud and Powerful, if you ask me. I would like to see them go on. Very good match, very good stuff from this match, and at the end of the day, they got the right outcome. So obviously, there's no complaints there with this match. Next, we have a MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I'm wearing the scarf, gonna be supporting him on Saturday. Might even pop open some bubbly once my boy Maxwell Jacob Friedman becomes the AEW champion. Imagine this glorious title sitting around the waist. with a nice Burberry scarf and a suit. Oh my gosh, MJF, man. MJF, can't wait. But anyways, at All Out, he says, at All Out, there is going to be one ending, and it will be him becoming the AEW World Champion. Then he's interrupted by Lee Johnson, who tells MJF that Mark Sterling, his lawyer, locked himself in the room. MJ asks, he goes up to the door, he says, Mark, are you fine, buddy? Mark, he starts like trying to get out of it, saying, well, I found maybe a loophole at page 16. MJF tells him he always wanted to be a world champ since he was a kid, and he understands that Mark is scared. But there is nothing more scary than him getting in the way of MJF's goals, because bad things will happen. So Mark has a choice. He either gets in the ring with Moxley or he gets into a wood chipper. He threatened Mark Sterling with murder. That's what MJF did. MJF, man. MJF, can't wait for Dynamite to become the salt of the earth. Next, we have Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, SCU, with the Private Party versus the Young Bucks and the the Jurassic Express. I don't know why I wrote Lucha Express on here. I don't know what I was thinking. But the Jurassic Express, they were facing them. And the winner, the teams that won this match, so if Kazarian and CD and then Private Party won, those two teams would, so basically the winning team had to face each other at All Out, which will be for the number one contender spot for the AEW Tag Team Championship, which will either be won by the Revival, FTR, or Hangman and Kenny. Hangman and Kenny will retain it. Those are the two options. Either way, one of those two teams will be facing against one of these four teams. But like I said multiple times, I've said it in the past, I've said it last few weeks, they have been doing these 8-man tag team matches too much. I am not opposed to the idea of this tag team match specifically, because I like the idea, actually. You're forcing them to work together in order to have an opportunity, and then you're going to pin them against each other. I like that. I like the concept with this match. That's not my problem with this match. It's never going to be my problem with the match. This match was built up perfectly. You're forcing them to work together so that both of them will have an opportunity to realize their dreams. That is a very good booking way. The problem I have is, how many times, we've seen it week after week after week, how many times are we going to get 8-man tag matches and 6-man tag matches and 10-man tags? When is enough enough? I'm not saying this was a bad match. This match was actually really good. But it just, after you overexpose this match, and after you overexpose the same stipulation over and over and over again, and mind you, this isn't a tag team match. A tag team match isn't a stipulation, but having a multi-man match like this, that it gets to be overkill. And we have another one on Saturday. With the Dark Order. We have another one coming up. I'm not saying that the Dark Order stuff is bad. I'm not saying this match was bad in itself. I'm not saying any of the matches that they've done with the 8-man tag matches have been bad. I'm just telling you, it needs to stop because it's getting old. I hate having to see an 8-man tag match every week, because then it's not special anymore. I'm not gonna break this down. I'm not gonna sit down and break down. Oh, Jungle Boy did. I'm not gonna do that, because that's not what I like to do for 8-man tag matches. Because 8-man tag matches, they just aren't as special as they were. They're over branding the 8-man tags. I'm just not a fan. It was a good match. Don't get me wrong. It was a very good match. The Bucks ended up picking up the win here with a BTE trigger on, I believe it was Mark Quinn. I believe it was one of the Private Party members. I could be wrong. I think Mark Quinn was the legal guy. I did not see exactly who they pinned, because I just saw the BTE trigger and somebody pinned. I wasn't really paying attention to who it was on. I think it was Mark Quinn, if I remember correctly. But the Bucks were very heelish. The Bucks, they were very serious. They're really put together. They aren't the fun-loving Young Bucks we're used to seeing. These Young Bucks, they got the win. They went straight out. They didn't sit there and celebrate. They didn't raise their hands with the Jurassic Express. This Young Bucks team is different. This Young Bucks team has an edge to them. This Young Bucks team very well could win the match and become the number 1 contenders on Saturday. Hold on while I get some of my root beer float out. Like I said, it could very well be the number 1 contenders. Now, do I think the Young Bucks or the Lucha Express, or my bad, why do I keep calling them the Lucha Express? The Jurassic Express are going to win? I don't know. I don't know which one will win. If you want to know, come on Friday, because I will be previewing the show, and I'll be giving you my predictions going in. But that match is going to be really good. The Young Bucks versus the Jurassic Express is going to be a very good match, don't get me wrong. I just don't like seeing these 8-man tag match. That's all. Next, we had Jake Hager. Jake Hager actually had a camera crew follow him. He went in and he informed Orange Cassidy that Jericho would like Orange Cassidy to be ringside tonight for his match against Joey Janella, and that if Orange Cassidy was smart, he would show up. Next, we have FTR. FTR says this is their biggest match of their career this Saturday. Nothing matters if they lose. Their legacy, none of it matters. None of it matters if they lose. And on top of that, Saturday is the difference in a 7-figure payday. So they're all about the money. They said, you know what, we like Hangman, but on Saturday, they're going to have to feel the revelation. So FTR making it clear that there's no friends on Saturday. Then we have Tony Schiavone introducing Kenny Omega to come down to the ring. Now, I actually do want to just sit here and talk about Kenny Omega for a second. Kenny Omega actually came down wearing a Hana Kimura shirt. May she rest in peace, you don't know. Hana Kimura sadly took her own life earlier this year. If you want to support that, go over to Pro Wrestling Tee and get a shirt, because it's always sad to see something like that happen. But that's love right there. Being able to not only just make a shirt in her honor, but on top of that, go out there and really just support her. So, rest in peace, Hana Kimura. Whew. Kenny then says this weekend they're going to face FTR, and Hangman, he has been taken as a fool by the FTR guys. And the one thing is, though, they'll still defeat FTR. And he says, I hope FTR brings their A game, because we will. Then FTR comes on out carrying a cooler, marches down to the ring. Kenny Omega says, let them talk. FTR then say that they've had a great run. Hangman and Kenny have had a great run, that they've been impressed with the run. And they have no issues with Kenny or Hangman. They look forward to having a great match. But he says, why we don't cheer to that, or he says, why don't we cheer to that? And he gives Kenny a chocolate milk. Now, at this point in the show, my TV at my house actually started buffering and glitching and doing the weird pixelated crap. So I had to go to the iPad, and I did not see the middle part of this segment. But Kenny says FTR says Kenny, they've only known each other for 3 months. He knows that he won't turn it down. Kenny says, let's make it quick, but keep Tully away. Hangman then comes on out. FTR welcomes Hangman. FTR says that he says, why don't you tell Kenny who made you turn last week on the Young Bucks? Because it wasn't us. It was all you. Then he says, you've known Kenny for 4 years. Kenny, you've known him for 4 years. We've known him his entire career. Hangman is insecure. FTR is basically just causing tension between Hangman and Kenny. So, although I missed it, I caught the gist of it, I believe. FTR creating some tension there from Kenny Omega and Hangman, which I believe will come in play on All Out. I actually do think that we're definitely going to get a moment of miscommunication, whether or not that's going to cost them or whatever. Find out on my predictions on Friday. But I do think that definitely the tension being brought up here with Hangman and Kenny is gonna come to play on Saturday. Then we have a Jericho interview. He says fans worldwide will experience the Mimosa Mayhem match to decide who's the better man between him and Orange Cassidy. He says, although I'm the better man, I've made Orange Cassidy a better man. I made Orange Cassidy into a main eventer, but he's no Chris Jericho. I will hit a Judas effect on him, and then I will hit the walls of Jericho, and then after he taps out, I will throw him into the pit of Mimosa, and I will drown him in the bubbly. So Jericho, nice promo there. I'm excited for the Mimosa Mayhem match, man. Do I know what a Mimosa Mayhem match is going to look like? Absolutely not. But if Chris Jericho's creative mind is behind the Mimosa Mayhem match, and he gets to have a say in what happens in between those ropes and in between the pools of Mimosa, believe me, Chris Jericho does not disappoint. He does not disappoint. But he says, tonight, Joey Janella is only gonna be an example for what's to come for Orange Cassidy on Saturday. So, Janella versus Jericho. I'd like to see Janella on the show more. Janella's great, man. I'm a big fan of Janella. You know that. You know that. You go back and watch the Double or Nothing. What's it called? Preview and review. Go back and watch Fighter Fest. Go to any of the shows. I don't know which show exactly I was wearing the Janella piece shirt on, but you know I've been a fan since day one of AEW, of Janella. Because we saw him at All In, and he had that great match. So, just saying. But with that being said, we get into the match here with Jericho versus Janella. Jericho is actually wearing a Orange Cassidy shirt here with Orange Cassidy at ringside as he was instructed to earlier. Jericho off the bat is really dominant here. Janella then jumps off the ropes into a code breaker by Jericho, and Jericho then hits the walls of the Jericho for the victory. And after this, it does not end. He continues the attack onto Janella. He undoes the turnbuckle, throws Janella into the turnbuckle. Janella's busted open, blood dripping down the face of Janella. He wipes Janella's face all over Orange Cassidy's face on his short shirt, says this is what's going to happen to you on Saturday. Orange Cassidy, really not amused here, just rushes to the ring, starts to attack Jericho, then Jake Hager and him have the numbers advantage onto Orange Cassidy. Sonny Kiss comes on out to take out Jericho. Then Hager ends up taking out Sonny Kiss. That allows OC to push Hager out of the ring, hits a DDT onto Jericho, goes for the Superman punch on Jericho, but Hager pulls Jericho out of the ring before the punch happens. That punch is going to be the punch that wins Orange Cassidy the match on Saturday. Mark it, bookmark the timestamp. I said it here first. He is going to win via the Superman punch. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And then Orange Cassidy after the match, he opens up his backpack that he brought out, and he actually had a little bit of the bubbly in the bag. So he pops it up, starts spewing out the top. He does one of these. I have an empty water bottle. Pours it out with a thumbs down. Orange Cassidy, man. Orange Cassidy. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for Saturday. That's going to be the gist of everything. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for Saturday. Everything on Saturday is must see. What a great job AEW did in building this show. Next, we actually have a Taz promo here talking about how Ricky Starks and Brian Cage are winners. Jake the Snake Roberts interrupts that saying, "You won't bust a nut in the ring." Very weird statement there from Jake Roberts, if you ask me. I don't know if that was necessary, but I'm sure a lot of you probably felt a little bit uncomfortable with that too. Then we have Taz. He says, "Taz, your group is the best set of losers." Then Eddie Kingston comes out saying, "This enough. Lance, you're a tough guy, but you're not tougher than me. Taz, you used to hang around killers. Now you're hanging around nothing but machines. And a little pretty boy that I don't know whether to take on a date or whether to fight. Then we have Tully come on out with Shawn Spears. Taz says that his guys will face everyone right now. Then everybody starts fighting. We have Billy Gunn come on out to start fighting. We had Darby Allin come out. Serpentico was out there. There was just, I believe the Best Friends came out. Proud and Powerful came out. Jake Hager come out. Just everybody that definitely will be in the Battle Royal came on out. We need to get this Battle Royal. I like the Casino Battle Royale. I like what it does. It's their Money in the Bank. You get a guaranteed title shot if you win. I like that. But the problem is here, these brawls before the Battle Royals and even Royal Rumble, we always see it. They gotta find another way to just build up hype for a match. And on top of that, I really don't want to know that Proud and Powerful is going to be in the match. I don't want to know Jake Hager is going to be in the match. Whether or not we can assume it, yeah, sure, whatever. I just want maybe 4 or 5 guys that we know for sure are going to be in the match. And then I want to be able to speculate in order to build up the hype for the match. That's what I think you should be doing here with the match. I don't think you need to give out the Billy Guns in the match. I think we all could have guessed that Jake Hager would have been in the match, but I just like building up the hype. Hold on, I take another sip of the glorious root beer float. Then we come back from commercial, from them fighting, to a Dark Order promo package, hyping them up and their feud against Dustin Rhodes, Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and QT Marshall. I told you that I'm not a fan of the 8-man matches. I hope somehow, some way, they make this match the best match. By the way, actually, the 8-man tag match on tonight's show is actually the best 8-man tag. So take nothing away from that match. Even though I said I did not like the concept of it, take nothing away from that match. That's the best match we've seen on an 8-man tag side. Not counting the Stadium Stampede or any of that, but the best we've seen recently. I really hope that the Dark Order is gonna have a good match here, because the Dark Order, they are hitting on all cylinders. They're like a steam train rolling down the track. They are hitting all their strides. Dark Order right now is doing what they need to do. They're doing it at the best of their ability, and they are a top faction. Not a top faction, the top faction right now in AEW. It's not the Inner Circle. The Elite's broken. The Dark Order, though, they're stronger than ever. You have Anna Jay there. You got Cabana, who could possibly maybe even be fully Dark Order after this. You got Reynolds. You got Silver. You got Brody. You got Uno. You got Grayson. You got Alex Angels. Very, very good faction building up with the Dark Order. With that being said, though, now, it's my thumbnail. I thought, what better way to hype it up than putting something that they've been criticized immensely about. AEW has been criticized at each step with the women's division because they've had no names in the women's division. Britt Baker was out. You had Chris Statlander go out. Riho's overseas. So the only people really in the women's division right now were Nyla and Shida. And we've already seen that. You're not going to sit there and put a Swole in there yet because Swole hasn't been built up yet. After Saturday, Swole is going to get that shot. But she needs to be built up. She needs to have a reason to get that shot first. Penelope, she's already had her chance. She needs to be brought back up. Who better than Thunder Rosa, the NWA Women's Champion? Now, I don't know if I'm 100% correct on this, but I'm pretty sure that this is a working relationship between NWA, that they're allowing Thunder Rosa to come over to Dynamite. I don't believe she's affiliated. She's an official roster member of AEW. I don't believe any of that. I believe this is just a working partnership that they're borrowing her for a couple weeks, and she'll be back at NWA. If not, great, because Thunder Rosa is a major addition to this women's division if she is all elite. I believe she's still with NWA, but if not, this is huge. I do know because she's, but been a little bit confused because I did have some people say that she is signed with AEW as well, so I don't know if it's she's signed with both, because I know AEW can work with others. I don't know if that is going to be a full-time, I don't know. But Thunder Rosa, absolutely great. Great in every sense of the word. And she fought Serena Deeb, somebody that I actually think Dynamite, AEW should go out and figure out whether or not they can sign her. I don't believe Serena Deeb is in any sort of contract that she belongs to a certain brand like an Impact. I know she doesn't belong to Impact, but for example, I know she's not like in an exclusive contract. I don't think she is, at least. I'll go out and look at Serena Deeb, take a deep look at her, because she put on a good match with Thunder Rosa. This probably, and we even had a comment, I believe it was JR, said something along the lines of, this is the best women's match we've seen. And they played it, he's like, I might get in trouble for saying that. And then they played it off as, no, you're fine, because these women are putting on a classic. So they tried to make it, yeah. But this might have been the best women's match we've seen in AEW, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. I was a fan of the Double or Nothing match with when Riho was first introduced. But this might have been their best women's match. Honestly, it might have been their best women's match. But obviously, I tweeted out before this because I knew it was going to happen. I said, this is the first step to the right direction for the women's division. The second step, Saturday. Shida, Rosa. That's the second step. This was the first step. I'd like to see Deeb signed. And if Thunder Rosa miraculously could become all elite, I would be 100% for that. 100%. Thunder Rosa looked great in this match. Thunder Rosa, amazing. Can't praise Thunder Rosa enough. Match started off hard-hitting, though. We had a arm drag early from Thunder Rosa into a drop kick also by Thunder Rosa. Then Deeb ended up hitting a nice neck breaker. Then she actually focused on the knee of Thunder Rosa, kept slamming into the mat. Came back from commercial, and it was hard-hitting once again. Serena Deeb ended up hitting a backstabber onto Thunder Rosa into a series of clotheslines. Then she ended up going for a roll-up. Rosa kicks out of that. Rosa then hits a running elbow in through the corner, and then follows that up with a knee drop, and then follows that up with a drop kick, all for a count of 2. Then we have Serena Deeb go for a pile driver onto Thunder Rosa. Rosa converted that into a Death Valley driver. Then they exchange pinning predicaments. Roll here, they roll back. Then we have Rosa end up hitting a suplex. Then followed that up with a running boot. Then Rosa hits the Thunder Driver for the win. This was the best women's match I've seen AEW produce. And I'm really trying to think. I'm legitimately trying to think what is the best women's match AEW's put on. And I don't think this match was under any of them. I think this was legitimately the best women's match of 8. I seriously cannot think of a women's match that was better than this one. Like I'm really trying here. I don't think it's possible. Like I said, Thunder Rosa versus Shida is gonna be an absolute banger. That match is gonna be great. If you want to see women's wrestling in AEW change, Thunder Rosa and Shida is the match you need to watch. They need to get, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how much money you have to throw at NWA. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know what. But if they could somehow miraculously pull off where they keep Thunder Rosa, that would be huge. Huge. Because that changes the women's division. That drastically changes the women's division. Because then you could have a Penelope Ford versus Thunder Rosa match. Great match in the making. You could have a Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker match once Britt Baker is able to elevate herself back up to a number 1 contender spot. We could see Big Swole. We could see Lil Swole. Nicole Savoy. We could possibly see Tainara Conti. We could see Anna Jay. Very interesting situations if we somehow figure out a way to get Thunder Rosa All Elite. I'd really love to see it. I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, please sign Thunder Rosa. That's on the top of the list if you want to sign somebody. Thunder Rosa needs to be in this company because Thunder Rosa, everything about her just belongs. It really does. Next we have Jon Moxley in the back. He says, it's time. MJF, it's time, buddy. It's championship week. You made it. Don't sweat the process, the nerves, signing posters, answering the same questions 1,000 times, the photo shoots. Saturday, all the distractions go away. The one question that's left is, MJF, are you ready and willing to be killed? Are you ready to take the pain? Mox says, MJF, he says, 2020's already been a terrible year, and I'm not going to let it get worse by MJF running around like a dumbass with the AEW world title. He said, it's kill or be killed, suffer or look for a way out, but everything up till now was the easy part. Saturday is the hard part. Killer promos for Moxley. Moxley in this build specifically to face MJF has done phenomenal in his delivery of promos. If you're not excited about MJF versus Moxley, I don't know how to help you. I don't. I legitimately, if you somehow are not intrigued in what Moxley and MJF are going to do, then you're either not a wrestling fan or you're just not paying attention, because I really don't know how. Next. Gonna set these down for a second before I pick them back up because, Next, we have the interview of Big Swole. She says that Britt Baker has dodged Big Swole at every chance she's gotten, but on the buy-in, yes, the buy-in of All Out, not the regular show, the buy-in, that she will have no place to run, no place to hide, because they will be having a tooth and nail match. I don't know what that means. Whatever that means, not sure, but very interesting going into that. But then we have Reba. Yes, Reba, the partner of Britt Baker. She actually says they have a pizza delivery for Big Swole. It says it's all paid for. Big Swole's like, I didn't buy no pizza. Britt Baker comes from behind Big Swole, hits her with a crutch in the back, and shoves Big Swole's face into the pizza, then hits her with a super kick, and then follows that up with the lockjaw. Perfect. Britt Baker is back. The role model of AEW is back in action. She is in physical action. She's not just promos anymore. She is back in action. She's healthy. For the most part. I will say, I believe this tooth and nail match, or whatever it is going to be more of a cinematic kind of match, because they don't want to fully just throw Britt back out in the fire right away, because obviously a leg injury is something you got to be careful with. You can't just rush it. I do believe she is cleared. I believe she's going to try to take it easy in this match. And that's exactly why they're on the pre-show. I saw a couple of people complain about it being on the pre-show. There's no need to complain, people. Not only is this Britt Baker's first match back, I do know it was given a lot of time, but this is her first match back. This isn't going to be a 5-star classic. This match is going to be getting Britt Baker back in the groove of things. There's going to be ring rust. There's going to be maybe Britt Baker's going to look a little slow here, just because she is not physically ready to go 100%. Maybe she's going to be at 80%. I don't know how good she is right now, but I imagine we're not going to see the exact same Britt Baker. It's going to be a little bit lesser of a Britt Baker, maybe like a 95% of a Britt Baker that we're used to. I don't think it's going to be the full Britt Baker, and that's exactly why they're putting it on the pre-show, because on the buy-in, you can get away with not having a great match. You put this on the main card, people are gonna, when they're putting their $60 up for this show, they're gonna have every right to shit on this match if it doesn't deliver. And why would you subject Britt Baker to that? Why would you subject Big Swole to that when you know coming into this match that one of the ladies is coming in partially still? She might be slow because of the injury. It's going to be her first match back. There's no reason to put those ladies in the situation where they are going to be forced to deliver. They have missed with matches on pay-per-views before. I'm not going to say they haven't, but All Out, their biggest pay-per-view there. They don't want to miss. They're not going to risk it just because this match has had a good build. It's right where it needs to be, or it's right where it should be. You can't throw Britt Baker in the main show and maybe kick out a Dark Order, for example. Dark Order have been there. They've been in the ring. They've been hitting their strides. You can't do that. What you can do is you can have this on the pre-show. Because this gives you, and you don't have to worry about your women's match not being on there, because your draw of a women's match is Shida and Rosa. That's your draw for a women's match. You don't need to worry about them getting mad at you that there's no women's match on the main card. This is right where it's safe. It's right where it needs to be. So please don't complain about the placing of it. I know a lot of people want to see this feud culminate in a main show on a pay-per-view, but if it was a different time, maybe. But you can't afford to kick out maybe Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy match. Just because of the in-ring action alone. You just can't. Next, we finished the show off with MJF's lawyer, Mark Sterling. He actually came out in like this red and white, like padded, full body gear. So we had Mark Sterling versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley here in this match was just teasing Mark Sterling. Mox shows him how to... Mox ended up showing the guy how to make a fist, because he was like sitting there like trying to punch. He's like... Mox is like, no, this is how you make a fist, buddy. He showed him how to make a fist. Mox then slaps him, and he does one of those, scares Mark Sterling off his feet. Then he turns around saying, hit me all you want. Mark Sterling goes, he ends up missing Moxley because Moxley sidesteps him. He goes flying onto the outside. Mox then hits a paradigm shift once he comes back. So he's just toying around with this guy, this poor guy. Then we have Wardlow attack Moxley after the match. He had an F10 on Moxley. He actually had two F10s on Moxley. MJF walked out with a walker. He took the walker, brought it up. I can't wear these the whole time. It's giving me a headache. He tossed the walker to the side. He didn't need a walker anymore. He took off the scarf, tossed it to the side, took off the neck brace, took off his suit jacket, got his sleeves rolled up on his shirt, and then he goes in there and he starts throwing punches onto Moxley, stomps him in the corner, then he unbuttons his shirt. MJF says, you want violence, Moxley? You got it. Wardlow then puts the Dynamite diamond ring onto the finger of Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley punches, MJF then punches Jon Moxley into the face. Jon Moxley dripping blood, busted open. MJF, as the show closes, is doing one of these. This is the sight that you're going to see on Saturday. You're going to see this with a nice Burberry scarf. It might, I don't want to. The Burberry scarf goes over the champion. There we go. This sight, except a different face, maybe a different attire, but it doesn't change the fact that on Saturday night, we're going to be seeing the AEW World Championship sitting next to a nice Burberry scarf. Can't wait to celebrate. Cannot wait. With that being said, man, this was a extremely good go-home show. This wasn't one of those little, it was a go-home show. What a waste of time. Let's look forward to the pay-per-view like it was for Payback. The show was going into Payback were miserable. Was Payback a bad show? No. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a great show, but the one thing I will say is AEW delivered on their go-home show. They delivered. That's how you deliver. They didn't underwhelm me. I was excited going through the day for this. This wasn't like last night. This wasn't like the main event of NXT last night. This right here kept me intrigued for 2 hours. Not 1 hour. 2 hours. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for other people to do the same? Anyways, as always, make sure you do go follow me on the Twitter at GamersGoonYT, then on the Instagram at thegoongameryt. And this weekend, obviously, we know we got All Out coming on up. We do have the preview coming out on Friday, so be hitting that notification bell, buddies, because trust me, you're gonna want to hear what I gotta say, because I got a fun little review set for you guys. And let's see if we can get me to 150. Yes, 150. I believe. Let me check. Maybe we got another sub recently. In the past few hours. Since the last time I checked. Hold on. I want to be accurate. Yes, we're currently at 145 subscribers, meaning 5 more of you that are listening to me need to go and hit that subscribe button. What are you guys doing? You guys, I love you guys. Make sure you reciprocate the love to me, please. Because I will be coming back on here Saturday night following AEW, and I will be telling you guys whether or not AEW All Out was a home run or it was a failure. I guarantee you, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say it's a home run. Why? Because AEW knows how to deliver. They know how to deliver. Like I said, man, make sure you do click the subscribe button. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you guys tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of the go-home show of AEW. I do want to hear from you guys. So if you're still watching, make sure you leave a comment down below, because obviously you're pretty interactive if you're still watching 41 minutes into this thing. And as always, man, it's been your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon. I'll actually see you guys on Friday.